Welcome back, everybody, to the GMA Community Cup playoffs. I'm Jeff, joined here by PHX. We just saw a pretty wild Game 1 in which Team Phoenix, our number 2 seed here, got out to a pretty impressive start, mostly on the backs of their bot lane, getting 2 kills in a pure 2v2 situation right off the bat, but then Option 12 just roaring back, just really taking control of the game and never letting go. So Option 12 now with a 1-0 lead. This is a best of 3, so this is the season on the line. This is the Community Cup on the line for Team Phoenix. And Chaosix, you're here with me. I know we just talked about this a little bit, but if you don't mind reiterating, what changes do you expect we'll see from Phoenix here in Game 2?
Yeah, first and foremost, again, the Viger ban. I think that champ is just too impressive with Huge on it. It gives them the scaling, gives them the baby cage, shuts down what I think Phoenix has been known to do, which is just, engage. So they need to get him off of that. I don't know what ban they would replace, but hopefully they work that in. Otherwise, I think their comp was okay, maybe a little bit more damage. I maybe swap the Annie out for something else. I don't know. Maybe put the Lux mid. Might be interesting, just to get a little bit more damage on there, because they were really good at getting picks. But once they got to that mid game, they just couldn't follow up with the damage.
All right, well, we are into Champ Select, and we have, once again, the Zyra ban aimed at Princess Peach right away coming out from the side of Option 12. And we'll see if there are any immediate changes in bans from the side of Team Phoenix. I do kind of agree with you. I know I was singing his praises, and we have seen Gregosaurus do some pretty great things on Annie in this split, but she's a pretty one-dimensional champion, if that makes sense. Whereas something like Morgana, which was just banned away, but Gregosaurus likes to play that mid, that's, a champion that can go in, can go out, can peel, can, find picks. And so I wonder if, another staple of Gregosaurus' champion pool, maybe Nico, if we might see that coming out instead.
Right.
Mordekaiser banned away, so they don't want Godzilla on that, and we saw the Wukong ban already. So far, not banning the Vigar. Oh,
okay,
and
interesting.
Oh no, I think that we have an issue. Sorry about that, folks, a technical issue. So let's take a moment while we're figuring out this to talk about the All-Star game coming up, the GMA Gaming All-Star. That will be this Tuesday, August 24th, 7 o'clock Central, streamed right here on twitch.tv/GMA Gaming. We'll have the top 2 players in terms of a voting system across the community. Top 2 players all facing off in a 5v5, really old school style All-Stars. I believe my guy here, Chaosix, is right in the thick of the voting. For you, whether you get in or not, what do you find, exciting about this kind of event, this kind of format?
Well, since it's there's no stakes to it, you're not playing for playoff spot, you're not playing in playoffs. It's really a good chance to kind of show off what you've got in the tank. Maybe some really crazy pocket pick you can't pull out in the regular season because your team would flame you or something. I want to see some really weird stuff.
Yeah, it should be fun. It's always an interesting situation when you have a game or an event like this that is, quote unquote, just for fun. Because you always, you wonder, okay, if I just mess around, is the other team gonna try hard, and then I'll look like an idiot? It'll be interesting to see who takes it seriously, who just tries to have fun, and
that's true.
if one team seems to be taking it more seriously, how the other team might respond. Just to reiterate, folks, we are having a little bit of a technical difficulty. I apologize for the delay. Currently, you are watching the GMA Community Cup playoffs. 1-0 series lead for Option 12. Series lead, excuse me. I guess it might also be serious if you're Team Phoenix, given that your season is on the line. So far, I do think that Option 12 has looked like just a generally stronger team, but I don't think that it's been, a blowout, even though the gold lead was quite large in Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, it just hit a point, where the game's pretty unwinnable for Phoenix. But, like we've been saying the whole time, they were in it for a bit there. Just a few plays gone wrong really turned it away from them. But like I said, if they did run it back, like I wouldn't even be too upset. Maybe just a little more damage, and they'll be okay. Option 12 though, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. They had really good map plays in the mid game there. If they keep that up, this could be a 2-0 for them. We'll see.
Also, just want to take a moment here to remind everybody that while these games are certainly serious, we also are partnering with a very serious issue. Feeding America is a really important cause that we are really proud to have partnered with for this Community Cup. Feeding America estimates that 42 million people in the United States will struggle with hunger this year during the coronavirus pandemic. And so we'd really appreciate if our members of our community can get out there and just contribute whatever you can spare to this cause. $1 provides one meal for someone in need. So far, this community has done a great job, come together, provided over 5,000 meals to people across the United States. So please, if you're able, consider contributing. At this point, if you're just now tuning in, we are waiting for the start of Game 2. Looks like there might be some technical issues. Trying to get it all figured out. We've got our players all ready, so don't blame the players. They all came ready to play. They're all good to go. It's our fault here here in the front end that are having our issues. But for those of you who might be unfamiliar, this is the GMA Community Cup. This is a fun tournament that we've been running throughout the summer. Had a 5-week regular season split, just a round robin between 6 teams. Top 4 advance through this bracket stage, and we are in the first of 2 semifinal series right now between Option 12 and Phoenix. Chaosix, let me ask you, you've been a part of this community for a while. Community Cup has been a little bit of a different format than our past splits here at GMA Gaming. But overall, have you noticed any differences, or has it been, more of the same?
I mean, it's been different, in a few nuanced ways, but nothing I can really call out in particular. Otherwise, it just feels like, the same old league we had, bunch of friends or acquaintances, beating each other up in League of Legends. It's been really fun.
Yeah, it is. It's been a pretty delightful summer to be a part of this community. I will say that we've had a couple fun events, a Civ 5 night, I believe, and Among Us night recently. The Let's Talk About the League podcast has continued throughout the summer, so a lot of different content that you guys can feel free to enjoy at twitch.tv/GMA Gaming.
Yeah, the side games, actually, now that you mention it, have been really fun.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not too familiar with most of them. I tried Among Us for a while during quarantine, and I was so terrible at it that I just couldn't get into it.
It takes more skill than you realize when you first start it up. It's very low skill ceiling, very low floor, very high ceiling.
Yeah, I just as soon as I was the I forget what they even call it, imposter, alien, what do they call it?
Imposter, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I was the imposter, there was too much pressure.
Yeah.
I'd give myself away so easily. I just consider it a win if I managed to kill somebody, but I don't think that's really the point of the game.
Well, getting a kill, I mean, sure. That's kind of the point, right?
I guess.
Sure. Sussy bot, yes. Sussy. Cool. We might be ready? Question mark?
Yeah, once again, I believe our teams are ready here. Just maybe some issues on the back end.
Yeah.
I do want to take a moment to give a shout out to my fellow caster extraordinaire, Kenos, who is unfortunately not able to cast these playoffs with us. Been really a staple of this GMA community for a long, long time, and unfortunately Spectrum has been very, very rude to him over the last couple weeks. So not able to cast these playoffs with us, but just want to give a shout out to him because he is one of the people that really makes this community work, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, he's MVP for sure. Well, I wanted to ask you about a certain J4 tournament you participated in. I wasn't able to catch it. How did you win?
Well, you didn't have to say it like that, but
I was just surprised. I was really surprised. I didn't know your J4 was so cracked.
Yeah, to be fair, I was also surprised. To be completely honest, I probably just researched into it more than other people.
Okay.
I had a couple different mastery pages. I was kind of a big nerd about it.
There you go.
It sounds like it's looks like we're good to go.
Hey everybody.
Yo.
Hey, what's up, Sig?
Himself.
Hey everybody, this is our Commissioner Extraordinaire, Sig Talor, joining us for a moment.
Hey everybody. I received an official request from one of the players to review the itemization and the way the comp was executed in the bot lane by Option 12 to see if it violated the rules as stated in our rulebook in regard to a carry player playing in a carry position and the way that you have to play to your role. The issue that was requested discussion of was the Vigar pick based off of his itemization and the execution of the comp in accordance with the rules that we have. Such as the second example listed in the rules of position versus role, where support players frequently build AP, and a way to execute the champion in a way it's designed and intended. No penalties are being issued. Full bans are still available for both teams. Thank you all for your patience, and please enjoy the games.
All right, thank you very much, Sig Tal Lord. So, got all that figured out. Sorry, apparently it was not technical difficulties, just trying to maintain fair play, especially in this critical stage of our Community Cup. Looks like we'll all be good to go now. So once again, we'll be kicking off Game 2 between Option 12 and Team Phoenix. Option 12 leading 1-0 so far, and I expect that there will be a handshake agreement that will keep those same bans that we saw as we briefly started Champ Select before.
Did they get all the way through bans? The first 3?
I believe we got 2 on each side.
Okay. You know what that means.
Because it was Zyra and Mordekaiser on one side, and Zyra and somebody on one side, and Mordekaiser and Wukong on the other. So 2 bans were aimed at Godzilla right away. Looks like so far we're following in that pattern.
Your worst decisions will haunt you.
Yeah, Morgana was the other one.
Sure. I would be very surprised if Vigar slipped through here, especially considering the announcement we just got. Vigar was absolutely a problem. They should ban it for sure. Just get rid of it, right? Like, take it off the board permanently.
And the Caitlyn pick once again coming through, or excuse me, the Caitlyn ban, and there is the Vigar ban. So Phoenix not shy at all. They know what the issue was last game, and they are going to take it out. They're going to dare Option 12 to beat them in a different way, even if it means leaving up some other things that they might not be comfortable with.
Like Zach, I guess.
Yep, like Zach. We know that that's a Sladen favorite. Absolutely.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's a fine trade. Like, get Vigar away from there. They can deal with Zach for sure.
I'm wondering if Senna is still going to be a contested pick, because I know Peach plays it. I'm not sure if I've seen Prowler play it without the Vigar combination. Set picked up for Sig Tau Eternal, and Brand, I think Brand would be a very powerful pick here, because it's a full-on flex, although they might switch to Zillion. Sorry, Chaosix, I asked you one question, and then I immediately started talking again.
Oh yeah, you're good. I don't even remember anymore, so...
Oh, I was asking about if Senna might be a contested pick.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. I think Peach would play it again. Or, sorry, not Peach. Prowler would play it again. I just don't know what Huge would pick. Peach does play Senna. But again, I'm not really sure what they pair it with. There's a couple of good options that are still available, so... I guess we'll have to see. I'm not sure Senna was the problem that game, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if neither team picked it.
Okay. We have Yone picked up. I assume that's going to be going to Great Beard of Odin in the mid lane.
For sure.
And Kaisa, which I still think is Prowler's most comfortable AD carry. So it looks like I don't think that Kaisa Senna is really that potent of a combination. So even if Huge wanted to play it, I don't expect we will see that. The Maokai, really a signature support pick for Huge, still available, as well as the Rakan. So maybe we'll see some heavy engage coming out from option 12 in this game. Gragas actually picked up on the side of Phoenix.
Okay, that's a pick. Probably jungle, if I had to guess.
Assume so, yeah. Could
I've
potentially still go support or something, maybe.
With Greg on brand, that's possible. I mean, maybe it's Senna Gragas. I think that would work.
Yeah, and they ban away the Annie, even though in my opinion the Annie wasn't really that effective last game.
No, probably still annoying though.
Sure.
Great Beard of Odin known for wanting to go in, and Annie very well known for stopping people from going in. So makes a lot of sense there, I think. I'm curious these last bans.
Yeah, last ban. Okay, so they take away the two champions I was talking about Huge potentially picking up. So I like those decisions from Team Phoenix, trying to hamstring the champion pool as much as they can. Malzahar taken away, so I don't think that option 12 believed that this brand could go mid because they just targeted two Gregosaurus champions. But I mean, we saw Gregosaurus
still there.
Yeah, we saw Gregosaurus play Brand in the finals 2 splits ago and get a win off of it. So it could still come out. Jinx picked up for Alpha. I think that that's a good pick for him. Given they took the Caitlyn away, I think Jinx can do similar things.
Yeah.
And Nautilus might come out. That would make sense for me, given just Huge's playstyle, very heavy engage style support. Gonna go with the Thresh instead. Still capable of engaging in a big way, but also a little more diversity to the kit probably. And the Akali got through. How did we forget to talk about that one? Great Beard of Odin going to be on his masterpiece for this potential elimination game.
Yeah, he hasn't been picking it recently. Maybe they just figured let it through. He'll never pick it, but yeah, he did it this time. So if we can finally see what he can do on that champion.
Yeah, it was available for Great Beard of Odin to pick up last week, in the last week of the regular season. I did touch on how that game I don't think was that important to either team, so maybe Great Beard of Odin would have picked it if it had major playoff implications, but we see him picking it up now as it has some really big implications with the chance to knock out Team Phoenix. Gregosaurus will be on that brand, and Princess Peach picking up the Taric at the end there. What do you think of that pick?
I think it's a fine pick. I know Peach has been practicing it. Zach, Akali, Yone, they all want to go in. Taric really good at stopping your teammates from dying with that ultimate. Could come in really clutch. I'm excited to see how their team fights go. They don't have too much engage, I guess. You're kind of just looking for a Gragas, either body slam or the ultimate to pull someone back to you. Maybe get a stun with Brand. So that might be kind of a pain point, but if they're able to kind of play off of option 12's engage, kite back a little bit, and then slap the Taric ult down and just go all in on them, that could be a really dangerous combination.
Yeah, the one thing I'm concerned about as far as the Taric ultimate goes is that Akali and Yone can just delete people so quickly, and you need those couple seconds for that Taric ultimate to actually activate. Can you survive long enough for it to even be effective? One thing that we haven't talked about yet is that the Yone was flexed up to Godzilla in the top lane. Chaotix, have you seen him on this champion? I personally have not.
Top lane, no.
Okay.
No, I have not. I'm not sure how that matchup is going to go into set either. So it'll be a learning experience for both of us. So.
Well, we will see if Phoenix can keep their season alive. The Community Cup coming down to these 4 teams. We have 9 lives against Team Blitzkrieg coming up right after this set. So whether it ends in a 2-0 or we stretch to a Game 3, make sure you stick around for that next one, as we'll have top-seeded Blitzkrieg looking to take out 9 lives. Got just our spectator delay going on here, but let me just take a moment to once again plug Feeding America, as we are really hoping that we can continue to generate meals for those in need across the United States tonight. $1 donated equals a meal for someone in need, so just really, really important, and we would really appreciate any further support that we can get in helping people during this difficult time. Once again, I'm looking up and down at the roster of Team Phoenix, and I know you touched on this briefly before. What happens if you fall behind? Because I just feel like you get run over if Option 12 gets ahead. They can just run at you, and you don't really have that many kite away tools. That's not a great verb, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
So
yeah,
if you're Phoenix, do you have to play really safe here? Do you have to play really aggressively early on to try to make sure you get a lead? What would your approach be?
I mean, definitely, of course you want to get a lead, right? It's just going to make your game plan a lot easier to execute. But assuming Option 12 gets ahead, it's all going to kind of hinge on the Taric ult timing. Given the, 2 or 3 seconds of invulnerability you get, like if you're able to time that so that your team doesn't pop before they get the invulnerability, they can really turn a fight. Brand has a lot of AoE damage. Set can hit like a huge stun. I don't remember what his E is called. The one that pulls people in.
Yeah, Facebreaker.
Facebreaker, yep. The Gragas combos. And then Jinx, just autoing people. Like they have a lot of damage potential even when they are behind. But it's going to be very dependent on, if Zach comes in at a weird angle and hits Jinx Brand with a knockup before Peach can hit Taric's ultimate and get that animation started, they're just going to die before it pops off, and it won't matter.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we are getting into the skin showdown. Before, I believe we said that Option 12 won it. They ended up winning the game. No skin on the Yone, though, here. So, everyone's computers are very, very fast. Just based on it being 5v4, I guess I'd probably give it to Team Phoenix there on the skin showdown.
Yeah, I did like shout out to Greatbeard Voden and Prowler having dual KDA all out skins on their respective champions. That looked great. I expect we'll see a 5-point here again from both teams.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm sad. I would love to see some more teams go for level 1s, but I understand in the playoffs, high stakes.
Yeah.
It's something that I feel like a heavy underdog is more likely to do. It's like
true.
In say more traditional sports, when you're a heavy underdog, you gotta just kind of go for big plays, go for haymakers, try to surprise them in some way. Because if you play straight up, you're at a disadvantage from the start. But both of these teams, I think, believe that they're evenly matched, and I think rightfully so. So everybody's just chilling around the entrances to their own jungle, making sure nothing crazy happens.
Mm-hmm. Of the two teams, I actually thought Option 12 might go for it because they have the Thresh hook. That's super good for invades, but yeah, they're ahead. They don't need to, like you said, make some weird plays, try to get ahead because they're sitting a game up. So, they're content to just 5-point again and just play their game.
Absolutely. And if you're Option 12, I mean, you were the team that did fall behind very early in game 1, and as they kept their cool, came right back and really dominated the last 20-25 minutes of that game. So yeah, if you can afford to fall behind a little bit and still be fine, why even risk falling behind when you don't need to?
Exactly.
Both junglers starting bot side. Sladen on the Zac, Alonzi on the Gragas. Both champions with pretty potent early gank potential, but in very different ways, I think.
Yeah. True. Zac obviously has an advantage with the slingshot, getting some angles in there.
Poke lands onto Princess Peach. Prowler gets stunned up, so not able to pop that 4th stack of the plasma, but still a decent trade in the favor of Option 12.
Yeah. Not as explosive as last game, but...
Well, both bot lanes got to the lane at about the same time this time, so no natural advantage. Godzilla gets an early quick knock-up onto Sig Cow Eternal. Little advantage in the health bar up there. Peach and Alpha. Just gonna sustain back up. Ooh, Death Sentence just barely misses on Alpha. Not sure if Huge would have followed in on that. We do have Ignite versus Exhaust down here in the bot lane, so maybe a little bit more kill potential for the side of option 12's bot lane. But I think that Exhaust was important to bring when you consider you're going up against a Yone and an Akali.
Yeah, even Kaisa, to be honest with you.
Sure.
Like, that's just a really good summoner to take here.
Alonzi here really early in the bot lane. Princess Peach walking up. I think trying to bait. Oh, if that hook would have hit, I actually think it would have been better for them. The stun doesn't land. Zap does land. Alonzi going in. Hits the body slam. Actually, Huge flashes. Huge actually flashed into the body slam. No kill will happen, but a flash burned when I don't really know if it needed to be.
Yeah, I don't know if his finger slipped or if he was trying to flash over it and make some really sick hook play or something, but yeah, it just didn't pan out.
Man, that's a really interesting situation because it would have been so much better for Team Phoenix if that Death Sentence had actually landed onto Peach, I think.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say that. I wish Peach had just stepped into the hook. That would have been like, you know, even if Huge doesn't take the hook, it kind of baits Kaisa to walk up and start dealing some damage, and yeah, that would have been a really good gank then.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did get a flash out of it, so what do I know?
Yeah, for whatever reason, they did get a flash out of it. Up top, Sladen jumps in onto Sig Tau Eternal, does still have the Haymaker available, and will turn around and just deal a pretty good chunk of damage. So, nothing burned from Sig Tau Eternal up in the top lane, except maybe about 20% of his health bar. Wave is pushing in, so I think he'll be okay. Alonzi Tardis is relatively nearby to cover if there was to be a dive, but Sladen isn't looking for that at the moment.
Yeah, might have been able to get a flash there out of Eternal if Sladen had hit his stretching strikes, the Q, but you know, unfortunately not, so able to just W away.
Nice sidestep there from Alpha on the Death Sentence attempt by Huge. After Prowler had hit the Void Seeker, that could have been a pretty big chunk of damage if Prowler was able to get the Q and the one more auto down to pop that plasma. But didn't do it. Sig Tau Eternal uses the Facebreaker to pull in Godzilla, and unfortunately not able, I think he canceled that last auto attack, but still a decent trade for him.
Yeah, actually of note, both champs are, you know, running on energy, or at least not mana, I should say. So they're both going to be like just up here forever in this lane, trading back and forth. Both have pretty decent healing as well. Especially Godzilla actually took Fleet Footwork instead of oh my god, what am I thinking of? You know the one, Conqueror. Yeah. Fleet Footwork instead of Conqueror, which is maybe a brain play. So I think Fleet Footwork heals. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give you that little bit of healing on your auto attacks every once in a while.
You might not be able to, you know, really heal up against a set with Conqueror, but Fleet Footwork, you get the healing from the minions. So I actually really like that pick. It's going to allow him to stay in this lane a lot longer.
Tau Eternal gets the Facebreaker down onto Godzilla. He is level 6, so a little bit of threat there, although you're not exactly looking to ult Godzilla under his own turret in that situation. Actually, he ults him back away from his turret. Directed camera, thank you for catching that just at the end. Oh, Alonzi, the last cone's over. Catches onto Prowler, who runs away from the Lantern, has to flash back to the Lantern and get away. Sladen was in the bot lane, but wasn't able to counter that. Godzilla taken really, really low up in the top lane. Sig Tau Eternal, the Haymaker, not quite enough damage. Ooh, boy, caught him in the middle with the true damage, but couldn't quite get it done. Godzilla still has the ultimate available, so there's a little bit of threat if Sig Tau Eternal were to try anything super aggressive here.
Yeah,
stun comes out. Oh, flash stun from Princess Peach. They know Prowler has no flash. Alpha goes over, but doesn't quite have the range. Now he switches to rocket launcher and gets it down. Huge, still no flash from earlier. The chompers go down. Huge is able to navigate away from them, and Phoenix will let him get away. Sladen was nearby to maybe provide a little bit of help on the escape. Godzilla and Sig Tau Eternal still just trading up in this top lane. Nice play, though. I like Peach flashing for that stun, knowing that Prowler had just burned his own flash.
Yeah, also really good flash by Alpha, preempting the Lantern. At first I thought, you know, Prowler was going to escape. Wait.
Oh, Sig Tau Eternal with a solo kill up in the top lane. Really, really impressive stuff from him.
I can't get a sentence in. It's just another bloodbath. It's action everywhere. That was a really good kill by Eternal top lane there.
I agree. I also think it was maybe a little disrespectful from Godzilla, though. Sticking around for a long time with about 20% health, has the teleport available, so could have just gone back and caught that wave a number of times over the last couple of minutes. Decided not to. Shuriken misses from Great Beard of Odin, who is not running Flash, which I understand on Akali, of course, but Sladen really low in the pit, gonna get popped into the Bloblets. Prowler is here trying to protect his jungler, but that's going to be no Zac passive for Sladen. Teleport is available for Sigtal Eternal, but not for Godzilla, but it looks like Phoenix are not going to pull the trigger on contesting this. Sladen just gets right back up into his full form and takes away that Drake.
Yeah. Clean macro from option 12 here again. Starting the dragon stack early. Looks like we're not going to get Cloud Soul either this game, so either Ocean or Infernal, which is going to be big for either of these teams, of course.
Yeah, a lot of different little procs on that Infernal Soul could come out.
Yeah.
Stun again from Peach, nice job. The Chompers don't come down from Alpha, so maybe he realized, I don't think he would have quite had time to arm them after walking up. Eternal, though, is just running at Godzilla now. He really feels confident in this matchup, just throwing those punches out. Godzilla has to dash away.
Yeah, I mean, that lane's going to be really hard for Yone now that he gave up the kill.
Oh, Death Sentence does land onto Alpha. That's nice. He's taken really low. There comes the Taric ultimate, and I don't think they have the damage to finish off this kill. Peach is just running forward. Huge, taken pretty low. Huge is level 5. Prowler is trying to turn the damage around, but he doesn't have any mana, and he goes down as well as Huge. Another double kill for the bot lane. But meanwhile, up in the top lane, Alonzi has been caught out. Sigtal Eternal now as well. Gregosaurus is running that direction, trying to get there in time. Big Haymaker is not going to be enough. Great Beard of Odin and Godzilla and Sladen get a double kill. This feels like a replay of last game where you had the 2v2 kill in the bot lane, but immediately option 12 gets something back right around the Rift Herald. They might get more now onto Dregosaurus Rex. Slingshot comes in from Sladen. Oh my goodness. Godzilla took that ult. Oh, but it still bounces from the Rift Herald. Oh my goodness.
The bounce.
Godzilla going back to his original spot actually saved Sladen from that ultimate initially by having it now bounce to him, but then it went off the Rift Herald and back to the Zac again.
No.
Oh no.
Man. That was so rough. Really good ultimate by Gregosaurus there. Like,
yeah, really saved that
was really hard. Yeah, it was hard for them to like keep Sladen out of it, you know, because if he had stayed if Yone had stayed instead of going back to his ghost, Sladen would have died a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But then Rift Herald acting as the bounce point against Godzilla was just smashing him.
So, I mean, still an overall positive play on the top side for option 12, but Gregosaurus getting a little bit of a bite back at the end of it. But now there's that roam from the bot lane of option 12. We've talked about this early in the series. Prowler goes in with the killer instinct. Gregosaurus really has no chance. We'll just try to put some damage down. Alonzi's got to get out of there. He should be able to body slam over the wall. No, he's rooted up. He's going to go down. Blade back. And another play around the Rift Herald for option 12. If you're Phoenix, you start just staying away from this objective because it has not been kind to you.
Yeah, that's just what we were talking about in pregame. Bot lane roaming up. There it is again. Prowler and Huge making huge plays mid, catching out Gregosaurus, and then able to catch Alonzi right on that Rift Herald and get a free leash.
But 4 plates taken down in the bot lane. And so I believe, let me just take a quick gander here. Yeah, that mid lane, I thought they might pop the Rift Herald on that mid lane turret to try to get something back, but they're holding on to it for now. And Peach and Alpha are going to recall, so they won't get that full first turret. Alonzi is going to walk right into Sladen. Body slams right past him, but in goes Great Beard of Odin. Nice cast.
Excellent.
From Alonzi just to disengage the situation. Sigtal Eternal, he teleports in actually, looking to help out. Godzilla's caught out a little bit, but he's ulted in, but I think he'll be fine. He will have to snap back at some point to that original point, but he's just wreaking havoc for now. Sigtal Eternal comes out with the Haymaker. Gregosaurus, can he land the stun? He does get it down, but Godzilla able to dash into the brush and to safety. So, a lot of abilities, a lot of cooldowns used there, but no kills.
Yeah, important to mention too, these fights have been happening topside without Jinx being there. You mentioned that they had taken 4 plates on the bot side. He's also 3-0, Alpha is, on the Jinx. He's he's really strong right now, and they need to start playing around him a little bit more. Because topside, it's kind of the Yone Zach show at this point, with really good roams by Odin and the bot lane somehow able to walk away there. But yeah, Phoenix does have a good point, in their bot lane here. They can definitely play around, especially with what, a 1.3k gold lead at this point.
Yeah, Alpha has about 1,000 gold more than anyone else in the game, not just his own lane counterpart, but anyone else in the game, even though Option 12 has been winning these topside fights. The Jinx is on another level from any other champion. Sigtal Eternal will interrupt that recall. Doesn't always mean a lot, but it's fun just to do that to your lane opponent sometimes. Godzilla looking to trade back a little bit, though, and get some good damage. Drake is up
Yone's
again.
getting stronger.
Yeah, Godzilla really starting to win these trades now and has teleport available, so could help out in this dragon fight, or the teleport will be available in about 10-20 seconds. So if he is needed, he will be able to show up. Eternal really pushed under his tower, and second Drake goes over to Option 12 now.
Yeah, great objective control still by Option 12.
They try to catch on to Princess Peach. The stun comes out as well as the Chomper, so they do a lot to diffuse the situation early on. Princess Peach trying to run away. Here's Alonzi, jumps in with the body slam, but didn't quite connect it on anyone, I think. Meanwhile, Gregosaurus and Greatbeard of Odin are just brawling, but you can't 1v1 an assassin in that situation. Greatbeard of Odin on that signature Kali picks up the solo kill.
Yeah,
Sladen's still hanging around in the spot lane.
It was just exemplary play from Princess Peach on Tarek there, showing how the ultimate, they didn't do anything really while the ultimate was there, but it did buy time for Alonzi to show up and at least diffuse the situation so that they don't die. But then a hook.
No, they're going back in again, but Peach gets a stun down just barely. Sladen, I believe he has Bloblets up again. Rip Herald is going to crash, but I think they should be able to take down these Bloblets. There's the teleport from Godzilla, I believe. Actually, who is it? Yeah, no, it's Greatbeard of Odin actually coming down, but Sladen will still go down. Up in the top lane, Godzilla almost gets a solo kill onto Sigtal Eternal, but they're both extremely low. Sigtal Eternal actually has ult, so he might be able to flash ult here. If he flashes, but no, just doesn't hit the click. And the face breaker doesn't land either. There's the face, or excuse me, the haymaker. Oh my god, the ult comes back. Who's gonna get it? Godzilla gets it. Oh my goodness. Just a very, very tentative duel there, it felt like, from both teams.
Rocket.
Mega Death Rocket coming up. Nope, chose the wrong brush, unfortunately. So action all over the map once again. I gotta give it to these teams. They are giving us plenty to talk about in this series.
That was a nail-biter top lane. Very unfortunate, Sigtal Eternal flashing in and then losing vision, I believe, on Yone in that brush. Still got the flash out of him, but then losing the trade in the end. That was so close.
Yeah, and he missed the face breaker as well. In the middle of that exchange. So really, all he had was the showstopper, and that wasn't quite enough. Godzilla getting those shields, and just with the ability to spam out those abilities so much more quickly, the cooldown so much lower than Set's kit, just allows Godzilla to win out on those extended trades.
Yeah, Yone's getting fat too. He's got a 30 CS lead at this point, plus 3 kills.
Yeah.
At some point, I think Set's going to lose the ability to side lane against him, just like last game. And it's going to be Godzilla. Yeah, he's going in now too.
Yeah, just keeps winning those small trades, just getting about 20-30% of the health over and over again. Huge looking for the death sentence, doesn't quite get it. Alpha able to sidestep away. Now Gregosaurus and Greatbeard of Odin. Greatbeard of Odin does not know that Gregosaurus sees him, but he absolutely does. And now Gregosaurus. Now that's an interesting situation for me. Chaotix, let's see if there's action. Actually, before I ask you a question, I have to interrupt you again. Looks like there will be action, so I'll try to remember this one for later. Here comes the Tarek ultimate. Once again, Sladen just bouncing around. Princess Peach, though, is still really, really healthy. They're getting so much value out of that ult, but Alpha, I think, stepped too far forward. Gets played back, has to flash away. Sladen was really, really low. I understand Alpha looking for that kill, but just wasn't able to get it. And actually, the first turret goes over to the bot lane of Option 12, despite how low it got before. Peach goes down. They try to defend it a little bit too long. Godzilla goes in, gets another solo kill onto Sigtal Eternal. You were talking about how that lane might swing in a big way. Alpha lands that rocket, though, onto Sladen.
Wow, Alpha getting the kill with the rocket was really, really good. 'Cause they're starting to fall behind everywhere on the map here.
Yeah, Alpha.
They needed a win bad.
Yeah, I feel like plays like that, it still doesn't make up for everything that just happened on the map, but it sort of just helps your morale as a player.
Yeah,
you know, just
exactly.
knowing, okay, we at least got something there.
Yeah. And I know if I were in Phoenix's shoes here, I think I would feel like I'm a little behind in gold. In reality, it's really, really close. I think if I were Phoenix, I would try to accelerate out of the laning phase here and into the mid game so they can get the fat Taric ults on 5 people and start winning these team fights. You know, with Jinx 5-0, her being allowed to just free auto on Yone or Akali, anybody who decides to dive in, while she's protected by the Taric ult, they're gonna get some kills off of that, and they could certainly turn the fight.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary to me as well, though, because we were talking earlier about how Alpha was so far ahead in gold of everyone. But Godzilla has pretty much caught up at this point. And I'll take it. Actually, we've got a huge explosive engage going down here. Slayton gets stunned up, but he's right in the middle of everyone, which is where he wants to be. Eternal tries to ult Slayton out. Huge haymaker from Eternal, actually. He takes everyone so low, and now the cleanup crew comes in. Alpha the janitor gonna do the job so well. 5 go down. The floor is mopped, and option 12 is all that's left on it.
Don't listen to me. Taric doesn't need ultimate to win these fights. My god, that was crazy. That face breaker was absolutely mental.
Sigtao Eternal carried that fight, man. That was awesome. He got the haymaker off with about 10% of his health, and I believe the center column hit about 3 people.
Yeah. It looked really good for option 12 there, the Zac jumping in on the 2 carries. For Phoenix, that's exactly what I was saying their win con was at the beginning. Unfortunately, yeah, Set had other ideas.
And I didn't really get to see, but I imagine another big part of that fight was there's probably a lot of brand damage bouncing around as well. So,
yes.
If you're option 12, you have to be so careful about clumping up, because you get everyone down to about 20-30% health, and that's a Jinx's dream.
Yes. Yeah, once Jinx gets excited, it's really hard to stop her. And Brand laying down the AoE damage in that fight is just huge.
So all of a sudden, you've got Phoenix back ahead 3,000 gold. They had the lead early in this game. Option 12 pegged them back just as they did in game 1. But we've seen some more resurgence from Phoenix that we didn't see. Burgersaurus, again, getting a little poke damage down onto someone who did not realize they were in vision. That's what I was going to ask you earlier, actually. For you, is it almost more valuable to not reveal that someone was in vision in exchange? If you're only going to be able to get, 10% of their health or something, is it sometimes better to not reveal that they were on a ward?
Yeah, like Greg putting damage down there on, what was it, Slayton, I guess, in the
I believe
bush.
It was huge.
Or huge, sorry. Yeah, I think it's worth it sometimes to, not tip your hand, especially when you're the only person there. Of course, if the person you're hitting is low and you can get a kill, of course, go for it.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
Full HP like that, yeah, they just know that, we have to avoid that bush or sweep it or something like that. It just kind of gives up information. There's definitely times where, hiding it is more beneficial, I would say.
Well, it looks like the game has slowed down a bit at this point. We've got Great Beard of Odin going to the bot lane. Understandable. This is pretty standard meta, if I'm not mistaken at this point. Send your mid laner down to the solo lane. Although Gregosaurus is still chilling in the mid lane.
I think Phoenix's bot side should go top, personally. Try to get that outer.
Yeah, it's still available.
Their bot is super strong. Just keep the jungler floating around, Put Eternal on the bot side. Or Gregosaurus, since he has teleport up at this exact moment. And try to just kind of push your advantage, because they are ahead at this point. Although, again, maybe it doesn't feel like Phoenix is ahead from their perspective. These fights have been pretty close.
That's something I've always tried to get better at throughout my time playing this game, is calculating gold leads, quickly as a player. But it's something I've never really been able to get good at over the years.
Yeah.
It's really hard to approximate, like, okay, how many plates did we get? How many plates did they get? Like, you know, was there a shutdown at some point? I imagine there's some really great players out there in the world who are good at that, and that's probably a really, really big advantage. Alonzi could get caught out here, although actually Eternal was there too. I'm not sure if they knew he was. Slayden still went in. They just get a little bit of damage down. But
yeah.
again,
Yeah, the gold thing, you know, it's really hard to begin with to calculate, like you were saying. It's also hard when you're also trying to play the game.
yeah,
You know,
sure.
from an outside perspective, sure, yeah, you can maybe calculate it within like 1,000 gold or something, but when you're also trying to CS, not as easy.
Yeah, sidestepping skill shots and
Yeah,
trying to CS while also doing math. That's tough.
yeah. And there's so many variables too. I mean, you know, even if you lose 4 plates, what if there was nobody in the area to collect the gold, right? And then it looks like they're ahead, but they're actually not. There's just a lot of little things like that you have to keep track of. It's hard. It's really hard.
So right now, it looks like everyone's just going to posture around this 4th Elemental Drake. We will have an Ocean Soul in this game. 25 seconds until that one comes up. Phoenix, they've had, you know, bot lane supremacy for most of this game, and I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't try to translate that into one of the first 2 Drakes. They did get the 3rd one at least, so not on Soul Point yet. Slayden is, I don't know if Huge actually, or excuse me, if Eternal actually saw him in that brush. They do catch onto Gregosaurus. That's a good catch if they can instantly kill this brand. The Taric ultimate comes out. Gregosaurus gets the stopwatch off just in time, but Eternal, he's not doing as much damage as he did last time. Alpha is gone already. Prowler's wreaking havoc, has the red buff. That's the extra bit of damage. Not sure if it was even needed. 4 for nothing. Option 12. That felt like basically an exact reciprocation of what we saw in a fight in about the exact same location 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and now the gold's evened up again. Soul point for option 12. That was a huge fight for them. Really good hook from Huge, followed by the Yone ultimate onto 3 people. I noted in that fight, although I don't know if it mattered too much, when Princess Peach popped Taric ultimate and Gregosaurus Sonya, he actually missed the ultimates. When he came out, he just got deleted. Don't know if it would have helped too much, but I mean, he needed it to survive, I think, so there's really not much he could do there. But, you know, it's really unfortunate he wasn't able to put any damage down before he died.
Yeah, between a rock and a hard place there, where if you don't pop the Zonias, Taric ultimate probably isn't going to go off on time, but if you do, you're going to miss it. Teleport
Probably
came out from
Zonias.
Sig Tau Eternal there to the top lane, which I think was enough to deter option 12 threatening the Baron. So the lost fight doesn't at least get worse for Phoenix there, but a big time kill onto Alpha there. I didn't actually see who that shutdown gold went over to. I think it might have been Godzilla, which would certainly be dangerous.
It was actually Kaisa.
Yone, excuse me. Okay, well, also dangerous.
Also dangerous.
Yeah. Really, really nice engage from Huge there. Threw the
Yone's
hook
fat
into 3
enough.
people and caught the most important one, I think. Well,
I know they
Alpha's
weren't
probably
trying
the
to
most
spread
important
it.
one, but
True, yeah. I appreciate that option 12 is spreading the gold around. I know they didn't really try to. I'm sure it was just, you know, kind of a fluke that Prowler ended up getting it, but I think it's good. You don't want all your gold loaded onto Yone, because if he gets caught and dies, then your team just melts. Right, so you want some gold on all of your carries.
Sure.
Kaisa getting 700 gold is going to be really good for them.
yeah, it has 3 items now, the Collector and the Runon's Hurricane completed. Slayden could be in trouble here. Alonzi Tardis does land the body slam, and they get the follow-up stun, and I think they they didn't quite interrupt the slingshot, but Slayden decides to go back in with it. Teleport comes out, there's the Chompers to go down. Yone is here, but not able to follow up as he goes right down onto the Chompers. Mega Death Rocket misses onto Slayden, and they catch a hook. Oh my goodness, everyone piling in. All the lines are through the jungle. Yone and Akali just wreaking havoc in the bot line, but Eternal is still basically full health. Gregosaurus mistimed that stopwatch, but still able to get the damage out enough to take down Great Beard of Odin. Alonzi Tardis, Huge is all that's left. He will get slowed by the last barrel, and he's gonna get run down anytime now. Gregosaurus Alonzi picks up the kill. These fights, they all keep happening in the same place, and they all keep being one-sided.
Kind of one-sided. I mean, it looked, you know, Phoenix got the really good pick onto Slayton there, and then option 12 responding in kind, but you know, they just didn't have the damage to finish off Phoenix's more important members. Gregosaurus was off to the side, just throwing down W's on the entirety of Option 12, just melting through them again. It's the same strategy they used to win that first fight, where they got the 2K gold lead.
And I think they have time to take this Baron. Slayton's running, but yeah, I don't think he's gonna get there on time.
Yeah,
that's a nice bit of awareness from Phoenix. Because when you lose your AD carry like that, I feel like you're not necessarily certain if you can take an objective that big that quickly. But they seem to really know the limits of their champions there. Knew they could get it on time.
Yeah, Option 12, I think at this point, really needs to focus down Brand in these fights. I know Jinx is 7 kills, but Jinx is pretty much single target. Actually, I see chat saying that as well, so at least I'm on the right page here. Jinx is pretty much single target except for some of the rockets, but Brand doing AoE damage across everybody in that jungle corridor was huge for them. They really need to get on Gregosaurus and stop him from putting out damage. Even if they just force a Zhonya's, he's out for 2 seconds, right? And they can finish a team fight up in those 2 seconds with the death ball they have with Yone ult, Akali ult, Zac. It's still a close game though. I mean, 1.5k gold difference for Phoenix. I know they have Baron at this point, but either team could really win a team fight at this point. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah, and Option 12, while they're down in gold, they do have that inherent advantage that won't go away in being on Soul Point right now. So that just adds so much more pressure, creates more options, I think, for how you can play around side lanes. You see a Greatbeard of Odin threatening up in the top lane, and no one from Phoenix is even trying to answer him. So Greatbeard of Odin, he doesn't have teleport available, so it looks like they're willing to give up this Drake. Either that or they're just going to hope for a Slayton steal.
They're probably going to end up trading.
Gregosaurus catches on the Prowler, and this Kai'Sa is just going to melt. No pun intended, but Brand burns her up. We'll see if Slayton can get a steal here. Goes in. Oh my goodness, he did get it. The Ocean Soul goes over to Option 12, and the Zac gets away with the flash. Greatbeard of Odin, meanwhile, having some nice free time up in the top lane, takes down the top lane inhibitor turret. Oh, wow, what a play from Slayton.
Somebody needs to nerf this man. Slayton's smite is surely cheating. He has been on fire with that summoner spell in both of these games. Winning his team the Ocean Soul after what looked like, they were going to lose everything there.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it's Phoenix is pushing in here still, but that Ocean Soul's going to put in work.
And Greatbeard Odin is behind him. He set up a flank position, never went back to base, stayed up in that top lane, came all the way around. There's a nice ult from Peach, though, keeps the fight going. Alpha is all alone, though. Alpha is just in the middle of 3 members, still alive somehow, eventually goes down. Greatbeard Odin takes down Gregosaurus as well, and it's just the front line now. Peach tries to get a stun down, but Eternal is just going to be left by his lonesome. Really, really tanky, but not enough damage. Gonna go down. Great play set up by Greatbeard of Odin coming down from the top lane there to get that flank position.
Yeah, I mean, that this whole sequence of events is really unfortunate for Phoenix. I mean, they had a 4v5 going on. They got the kill on Prowler to start that dragon fight. Didn't respect the Zac jumping in, going for a smite steal. And now they lost 4 members and are losing more of their base. That sucks for them.
And that
still, the gold is even. That's crazy.
Well, should be a slight advantage for Option 12 after they take this turret, but at this point in the game, 500 gold is barely anything.
Yeah.
One thing I know Zac, he has so much range on that slingshot. Probably could have gotten in range anyways. But Phoenix, they didn't pull that Drake out of the pit. They could have pulled it back away from that wall. I don't know if it would have made a difference because, Zac is Zac. But that's always, there's the little things that I feel like sometimes you forget to do. Just small plays like that.
Yeah, and, in this case, the small play lost him his soul. It's really just an example of how micro errors, like you were saying, can really just turn a game. Granted, Option 12 hasn't won yet, of course. They can lose with Ocean Soul. It's just going to be a lot harder for Phoenix to do what they've been trying to do in these extended fights, Option 12 is just going to be able to heal up some of the Brand chunk, right? Give them time to get a good Zac engaged, get a Yone ultimate in there, and just delete Phoenix. Yeah, these fights coming up are going to be really touch and go.
And the fights that we've seen so far, they're really all-in fights, or, well, they have all been all-in fights. We haven't really seen, you know, extended skirmishes with poke and things. So I'm wondering how effectual the Ocean Soul will actually be, given that we've just seen both teams piling in, and fights going, you know, being over in about 4 or 5 seconds.
It won't be as useful, of course, but I mean, you're still going to get a few ticks of the healing, and I mean, some of these fights that makes the difference for sure. I mean, some of these people have been sliding out, you know, under 100, 200 HP, and that's an Ocean Soul tick. Like, it could be huge.
Reset, you know, if you don't get the Jinx reset, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, I'm guessing that these two teams are, unless someone gets a pick, they're pretty much just going to handshake for the next 3-ish minutes, 2 minutes, sorry, until Elder's up. And then whichever team wins that fight is probably going to just win the game.
Alonzi Tardis, excuse me, not Alonzi Tardis anymore, that's his former name, but
yeah.
It's interesting that he was the one who went to catch that wave in the bot lane.
Yeah. I actually missed that Baron is coming up right now, so that I will amend my previous statement. Baron will likely be the next fighting point here, but Elder coming up shortly after that. You know, it could be a snowball. Whoever takes Baron just goes down to Elder and takes that as well, depending on how the fight goes.
Yeah, and you see that timer ticking down for Elder Drake down to about 90 seconds now, which means unless a fight pops off in the next 10 seconds, which based on positioning it is not going to, if you lose this Baron fight, yeah, you won't be up in time to try to fight for the other one. So this is going to be, you know, double the trouble for whoever loses this ensuing fight, assuming that we do get one. Grapefruit of Odin again, down split pushing, but this time does have teleport available, so let's see. I don't see any incredible teleport wards for him right now, but he's got that wave pushing in the top lane, so that could give him flank position, although he would be seen coming in.
Yeah, Brand going up to clear top wave is really important. They need to get that wave pushed out so they don't get teleported on, like you were saying. You know, option 12 though, opting to just push mid as 4, let Akali split against Jinx. I think that's an okay play from them. I feel like they're kind of in a stronger position right now, despite the gold being even, just because a lot of the gold is on their carries, Kai'Sa and Yone.
And Alpha's got to be careful if he gets in this side lane situation against Akali. An immobile AD carry against a pretty potent assassin at this point. It's not just you potentially dying, but if you die, you know, the objectives are gone.
Yeah, actually, good point. This is a really bad time for them to die because, you know, they kind of dawdled enough that now Elder is coming up and option 12 has the angle on it.
Flash in from Eternal. He really wanted Prowler there, but he's just getting destroyed by himself. Haymaker comes out. He also actually, that might help him stay alive, but Prowler cleans him up on the backside. In the back, everyone else is just raining in damage. Gregor's Source is also gone. Alpha can't quite do enough. All the carries are gone. Alonzi is the only one left, and we've got a teleport coming to the mid lane. This may just be the game.
Oh, it feels so bad. Eternal thought he had an angle on him, and it was just out of range of Peach following up with CC, but the rest of the team wasn't there, and he just got melted.
Yeah, just not quite tanky enough. The Gore Drinker not doing enough for the sustain. And yeah, Elder Drake now 15 seconds on the nearest death timer. They jump in onto the Gragas, won't quite get the Elder Drake proc, but they'll get the turrets. That's what really matters. Option 12 looking strong here in the semifinals as they will go to the finals. It looks like Client pooped out on us. Apologize for that.
And game froze.
Yep. Did that thing that the Client does. But I think we're safe to say that option 12 took that one. Again, just really impressive late game team fighting from this squad.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned it was going to be touch and go, and you know, it was one failed engage by Set there turned the whole team fight in option 12's favor. They were able to collapse on the rest of the team. They were trying to save their Set friend and just weren't able to do it. Take the Elder, take the base, take the win.
Really got to give a shout out to Godzilla. You know, on that Yone, we talked about banning away that Wukong, excuse me, but could argue he was just as effective on this champion in game 2.
I mean, look at the Yone damage.
Yeah,
Like,
that's crazy.
absolutely insane.
Huge. Absolutely. Especially, getting solo killed at, what was it, probably about 7 minutes. And then just
Yeah.
still managing to navigate the rest of that lane. We saw that really, really touch and go, really close 1v1 that may have swung that lane. But yeah, overall, really impressive stuff from him. Great bit of Odin did the Akali thing that we're used to seeing him do. And Sladen, clutch smites throughout the series. Gotta give a shout out to that guy.
Absolutely. That Ocean Soul Steal was a game changer for them.
All right. Well, 2-0 goes over to option 12 here. They will advance to the finals to play the winner of 9 Lives versus Blitzkrieg. Chaosix, any closing thoughts on this series?
GG's to Phoenix. They looked really good. Unfortunately didn't end in their favor this time, but they had a lot of, really strong showings in both of these games. And in another universe, I could see them 2-0ing option 12, but option 12 better team on the day. Excited to see them in the finals as well.
All right. Well, everybody, you've been watching the GMA Community Cup. Please stick around for set 2 as our top seed Blitzkrieg looks to take on 9 Lives who have been on fire in the second half of the regular season. We will be back in just a couple minutes.